so I have no idea how this video is going to show up. I left a piece of my camera, the thing that attaches it to my tripod in my vehicle, and so sorry, I was still determined to record tonight. So here I am. So hopefully, you know, the footage is good. But anyhow, y'all, I really didn't feel like coming down here today. Like, I really didn't. Real talk. You know, I even be honest, you know, me recording some of this stuff actually helps me to kind of stay consistent, because I have goals that are more so related to, you know, the recording stuff too. You know, and I really hope that me even documenting this is something that people find beneficial. I hope there's somebody out there, you know, maybe you, who is actually stretching, you know, because you see me stretching and whatnot. You know, it's all about the basics, man. It's all about the basics, and that's really what I strive to convey. That's why I call this channel Back to Basics Fitness, and why I call my LLC Back to Basics Health and Wholeness. Cause look, you know, the health and fitness industry is too complicated. It's way too complicated. If you really just sit back and kind of think about the way things are, being healthy isn't really complex. It's not. It's just been made to be that way. It's been made to be that way. But think about it like this. So, before industrialization, a lot of the things that we, you know, consider for health and fitness, a lot of those things just were totally unnecessary. You know, like, I'm sure that people weren't really getting stuff like heart disease and all that. They weren't really getting that stuff like they do now, because they weren't eating, you know, there wasn't available junk food and all that kind of processed stuff that tend to cause it. Anyhow, I was interrupted by my camera falling. A lot of these things, these processed foods and things didn't exist, and, you know, having automobiles to transport us around wasn't really a common thing. It's just a lot of things that we take for granted and see as normal now that weren't even close to being normal. And so because those things weren't normal, they weren't really around, health and fitness as we know it didn't exist. You know, the conversation around it like this did not exist. You know, you probably didn't have to tell people to really exercise, or to eat their vegetables, or to reduce junk food, because it just wasn't around, you know. And so that's one thing to consider. You know, then just fast forward to today's time. We have all this convenience. We have all this convenience. These are the reasons why we have so many problems. These are, and so what happens is, where the complication comes is that it's like, oh, well, you gotta take this pill and that pill and this supplement and that supplement and, you know, all this, you know, instead of just kind of like getting back to basics. You know, it's like, are you moving? Are you eating your vegetables? You know? Are you moving? Are you eating your vegetables? Are you getting good sleep? The very basic, just I was gonna say bare necessities. Just the very, very basic, the most basic things. And it's crazy. We tend to think, man, it's some secret, some pill or some shot or some sort of secret vitamin, you know. And I'm not necessarily mad at vitamins and stuff like that per se, but my main issue is that we'll take something in a heartbeat and then just kind of totally be missing the fundamentals. We'll totally miss the straight up fundamentals, the very, very basics of what it means to be healthy. Like I say, eating your vegetables, you know, getting fresh food, trying to get food that is as unprocessed and unadulterated as possible. You know, getting lots of movement. You know, with exercise being the icing on the cake. So like, your life is a very active lifestyle. You know, we weren't really designed just to be sitting down all day. We just weren't, and that's why we deteriorate, because our bodies wear out from sitting, you know. So yeah, that, and like I say, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, you know, having strong family and community bonds and things like that. Things that in Western society are becoming less and less of a thing because of just the way that we tend to live our lives and because of technology and stuff like that. And once again, the crazy thing about it to me is that instead of us kind of going truly back to basics, we still keep on trying to find some sort of magic pill. Like, I just hope one day we just kind of really come to our senses. Like, you know what? We gotta stop. We gotta stop looking for an invention of ours to fix this, and we just gotta see how was this stuff designed? How was it that the Creator, how was it that God actually designed this stuff to run? Let's kind of go back in that direction. You know, the cool thing about one of the cool things about the medical industry is, you know, how it does a great job with infectious disease, acute traumas and stuff like that. So thank God for the medical system for that kind of stuff. It's just some of these things that are caused by toxic lifestyles. You know, a lot of those, just being honest, they need correction. You know, the correction of the toxic lifestyle. You know, and that's the thing I really lament. I lament that, but we got to get back to basics. That's really one of the things I really strive to convey with this YouTube channel. You know, so it's about being basic, y'all. That's why even when I talk about stuff like exercise, I don't even really encourage you to necessarily do a whole lot at the beginning. Sure, you can go and join some sort of complex kind of program, and you know, but like I'm telling you, a program is not necessarily, you know, like great because somebody gave you all this stuff to do, all these different kind of bullet points to take care of and whatnot. You know, you need something that's going to help you to be consistently making a change. And that's all that counts. You know, it's like once you get on your health journey, remember, it's a journey. And so you need to just walk that thing out. Walk that thing out and be consistent and make gradual changes along the way. But anyway, I'm just saying all that to say it's about the basics. It really is about some basic things that we moved away from because our society got so modern and our society got so convenience based that we stopped doing a lot of things for ourselves that our ancestors used to do naturally. Because, and you know, things that we would consider, you know, like cooking their own food, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Even my mom, she said when she was coming up as a little girl, they pretty much never went out to eat. Pretty much never. You know, my parents are in their 60s now. She was a little girl, like, in the 60s and 70s. And they didn't go out to eat. You know, when I was growing up, we definitely went out to eat. Sometimes, well, a lot more than my mom and them did. But still not a whole lot. But then once I got into like high school and started working at Chick-fil-A, and then I went to college. I started eating out quite a bit more because I was on the go more and all that. Ooh. But anyhow, you know, these things are unheard of even for my own parents. So it's like it's no wonder that you start seeing kids getting high blood pressure and diabetes. It's no wonder, you know? So is it really complicated? Is it really as complex as we think it is? I honestly don't think so. That's why I do the YouTube channel. Because I honestly don't think that health and fitness is nearly as complex as we've made it. You know, I think that it's a few changes that we have to be committed to making as individuals and as society, and then a lot of these numbers will turn around. Will we ever as a society? I don't know. But at least, you know, I encourage you to pay attention to the very, very basic things. You know, it's like I'm always in the mindset I need to do everything I can in my power that I'm already supposed to be doing. You know, before I try to seek out some sort of intervention, you know, I'll say more than likely before I seek out some sort of intervention, you know, because, you know, it's just things to fix. It's basic things to fix that'll help us tremendously in our health. So anyway, I don't know. What y'all think, man? You know, I can go on and on about this kind of stuff because I'm so passionate about it, but I'll be rambling. So yeah, and I'm tired too. But yeah, it's all about basics, y'all. It's all about basic things for your health. It doesn't have to be complicated, in my opinion, at all. The complication can come later after you've been doing stuff for a while and you've made enough tweaks to your lifestyle, you know, your exercise routine, your eating routine, whether or not you take key supplementation. You know, it can get complex later, but you don't have to start complex, if that makes sense. All right, y'all have a good one.
As we get older, it becomes increasingly important to maintain and build muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat, stay mobile, and can contribute to longevity. However, many people have no idea how to work out to build muscle. My mini workout series on Patreon provides you with my body weight mini workout video library. These workouts use little to no equipment, which means that you can do them in the privacy of your own home. They start at beginner level and progress from there to ensure you continue to see results. Every workout is a full body workout, hitting chest, back, legs, and glutes, as well as other muscles in between. Become a patron today and receive access to my series of mini workouts, plus access to a digital copy of my book, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. By combining the workouts with healthy diet changes, as outlined in my book, you'll definitely be on your way to weight loss, improved health, and visible results. Join me at patreon.com/SeanB2B Fitness today.